Hello everyone and welcome to TYTSports on this Tuesday morning. A lot has happened with the USC Trojans, so I figured who else to bring in than an alumni of the USC Trojans, J.R. Jackson. J.R., thank you for joining us.
I'm going to speak very emotionally and
Please don't.
irrationally and biased on this.
You're going to make me throw up in my mouth, so don't do that. So look, here's the scenario that everyone obviously knows. Coach O, Ed Orgeron, who was, let's just call it as we see it. He was a failed head coach at Ole Miss. He took over this program when Lane Kiffin was the worst hire ever. I said that he was the luckiest head coach to be put in those positions. Another story for another day.
Tennessee,
Oakland Raiders, Tennessee. Oh my God, USC, I'll go there. So, you know what, whatever. Lane Kiffin, he gets fired midseason, Ed Orgeron takes over. And the things that he does was so uncharacteristic of an interim head coach winning over the program. A lot of people like to say, you know what, when interim head coaches are put in this certain scenario, he's an alum or he knows the program, he's been with the program. He doesn't have to win us over necessarily because we already love him and he's in a position destined to fail, so we're going to root him on. However, with Ed Orgeron, the things that he did, the handwritten notes to the band, I love that. The getting food for the players, the in and out and what have you, those were great. But the most important factor was that he was winning. He went 6-2. So was he and should he have been the right fit going forward for USC?
He could have been. I think if he got the job, it wouldn't have been an outrageous fan base that's thinking, oh my God, I can't believe they brought this guy and this bum, what has he done? There was actually, I think, a nice segment of the fan base and students and everyone who wanted him to come on because of how well he connects with the team and the school. And
it's because of his voice, be real.
He sounded like a football coach.
Guy.
Exactly,
He's a football
right?
guy.
And I've never seen a more stark change in one team mid-season. Usually you have an interim head coach come in and they kind of just continue their direction. If they're on a slight uptick, they continue that slightly, lose 1 or 2 more games. Or if they're in a slight downtick, they lose 4 more games or something like that, right?
Sure.
He came in, it was a 180. The guys they looked like they were enjoying themselves again. A friend of mine that went to Stanford said, you know what, after SC beat Stanford in that huge upset, he said, you know what I realized in that game? Oh, yeah, that's right. USC's got great talent.
So they hired Steve Sarkisian, who took over Washington in 2009. He inherited an 0-12 program. Now, look, he didn't have a great first year, but then the next 4 years, 7-win seasons, 7+ win seasons, 7-win seasons. He did not get over the hump of 7 wins. 4 straight bowl games. He was an assistant at USC for 7 years. He was there when Matt Leinart was there, when Carson Palmer was there. But there is still this criticism that, you know what? He didn't beat Oregon. He's buddy-buddy with Lane Kiffin. Should those really be factors? I mean, Oregon had Chip Kelly, and they still have one of the most dynamic offenses that no one can keep up with. And then the whole thing about Lane Kiffin, I'd say push that to the side.
And I guess it depends on what exactly he does with the team there. Now that he's back with SC, because what happened was he was offensive. He was an assistant as an offensive side, and I think he even got offensive coordinator at the end of Pete Carroll's tenure. But when Pete Carroll came in, his first season was
Paul
not.
Hackett.
Yeah, when he came in for Paul Can't Hackett, he came in, and his first season was not great. I think we all forgot this. Pete Carroll's first season at SC was a disaster. Not a disaster, it just wasn't good.
Bill Plaschke, by the way, I'm not to cut you off. I'm not mad at Pete Carroll. This is when Pete Carroll was hired. I'm mad at USC for hiring him.
There's so much speculation, it's hard to tell. So, of course, after Sarkisian came in or is being brought back, there's this groundswell of, I can't believe we didn't get the big hire. We like, what happened to John Gruden? All these.
Every year with the John Gruden talk.
Every year.
Put it to rest.
Every year. Or I think even someone else said Tony Dungy. Someone threw out Tony Dungy somewhere.
No.
Because we expect to get anyone because you know who we are? We're SC.
And that's the mentality of the Los Angeles market, of the SC people, of the SC fans. I'm not saying that they're wrong. You know what? Shoot for the stars. Why not?
Right.
I don't blame them for that. But they want the glitz, they want the glamour, they want the big name every year.
I kind of do too. But you know what? If you don't get it, don't assume that we didn't go for it.
And the next guy sucks.
Or that the guys who we didn't get were just begging to come to SC. They're big names. There's a reason they're big names because they have other opportunities.
Sure.
And maybe they don't want that job. Maybe they want to continue to stay in the booth. Maybe they want to stay in the broadcasting studio and keep talking about the pros because that's what they've been doing.
Pat Haden was once a broadcaster for NBC, calling Notre Dame games.
So actually, there was a little point about when Pete Carroll came in at first.
Yeah.
So he had that mediocre season, and so now Sarkisian's brought in, and as you talked about what Plaschke said, there's this automatic disdain for what he's going to be doing there. I have this crazy idea.
Yeah.
Let's give him some time. Let's see what happens. I mean, it's amazing. Before anything happens, just go, I can't believe this. And I get it. We have this whole feeling of we can't wait till the offseason so we can tout how good we're going to be next season. And we can't do that if we're talking about Sarkisian, because what do we have to brag about with Sarkisian? If we have a big name, we can sit there and talk about it. We can brag about it. We can say, we're SC, we run LA again.
There's a lot of players on the SC roster who were recruited by Sarkisian, and they are excited as hell. That was the quote. They were excited as hell that he's coming in. Out of anything, he knows the players because he recruited them. He's a West Coast guy. He played basketball at SC. I mean, he has that sort of connection. Would you have rather seen Jeff Fisher, Jack Del Rio, Lovie Smith, Kevin Sumlin, Chris Peterson, not Nick Saban, because there's no way they would have got Nick Saban, but some of the big fish like that, James Franklin from Vanderbilt, would you have liked to see them over Sarkisian?
Sure.
Why?
I mean, because then you still get that new chance. This is the thing. When, again, we have our standard, at least my time frame at SC, we have our standard, the Pete Carroll era.
Yes,
three-peat when we supposedly won 3 straight. So we want that again, and in it being within that same family, which was the Sarkisians, the Kiffins, and the Orgerons, at least there's maybe that feel coming back. But when he came in, he was the unpopular, who's this guy, and wasn't he a failed pro coach thing?
Oh yeah, so, he only failed twice with the Patriots and the Jets.
Yeah. So then to bring in another new swath or a new blood coming in, it's exciting. So to get those, I'd be excited about that too, because I like to give guys a chance. No matter who he hired, the bottom line is we still got to have hope that he's going to do it right and that they chose the right guy.